The college football experience, Miami Hurricanes 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with our promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Pac-Man Jones. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Miami Hurricanes 2025 season preview episode. YouTube.com/the college experience. Jump on over there. We've had everything. I've been at ACC Media Days over the past few days. Got to hear from Mario Cristobal and several members of the team. And now I'm down at the beach. And we're both at the beach because I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the college basketball experience. Interesting year that down there on the basketball front as well. When the season goes live in basketball, we will be live every single night of the season, just like we are for football. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governor, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Money Line Mac.
What's up, man? Let's talk about the U.
Cheers, brother. Yeah, man, I'm working. There we go. That's what we do. It's the preseason episodes. We're bagging through them. By the way, go check them all out. 136 of them. We're in the middle of doing that, and most are out, though. I would say. I think we're right around that point. But also go check the Bill Belichick Q&A somewhat that I got to get in there. Also, there's a bunch of other ones. We've got Bronco Mendenhall up. We got a slew of other ones. I did talk to your boy Narduzzi, Brent Pry, Toney Elliott. We got a bunch of ones coming up. So check all those out. YouTube.com/the college experience. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast because some of the episodes I couldn't do video. So we just have audio, and those are only going to be available on the podcast front, iTunes, Spotify, whatever there. So jump on over there, do that. But man, let's start the slideshow. Let's jump into this because look, rule number one, Miami, you have one of the coolest logos ever. Go back to it, please, with the fucking pipe too. All right, the Schnellenberger pipe needs to always be in the in the shot. You know what I mean? And this is a mascot that I can get behind. He's got the bandages. Must have took a shiner from the eye, right around the eye. That's what happens when you do a lot of cocaine down there. But dude, great logo, and they need to. It's better than the U logo on the right side. They need to go back into, like, I remember I have a brother that was a big Miami Canes fan, and the last I checked, let me make sure, and I'd say that in the past tense, but he was a big Miami fan, and he had the Miami starter jacket with that cane on the back of it, man. Not the U, the cane on the back of it, man. And he also had the old rubber football, orange or green and orange with the cane on it, man. It was fucking awesome. So then they need to jump back into that. But Mario Cristobal, man, kind of had a breakthrough season. He was 5-7 in year one at the U, 7-6 in year two, 10-3 in year three, 84-76 overall as a head coach in college football. And I there's no way that there's a hot seat, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Miami. They spend a ridiculous amount of money. Is it foolish of me to even mention hot seat? But at the same time, I'm like, man, you did have the first pick of the draft, which they leaned into that pretty heavy, by the way, at media days.
1 year rental.
I I kind of have an issue with that. It's like it was the same situation with Jahmyr Gibbs at Alabama, where I felt like they're like, oh yeah, Alabama. I was like, dude, he spent 3 years at Georgia Tech. What are we talking about here? Like, he's not Alabama made. He was Georgia Tech made. But anyway, they had the first pick of the draft. And they had the number one offense. We'll get to that in a second. But you could also make the case. I mean, it was a breakthrough season, 10-3, even though they missed the playoffs. You could argue they should have been in the playoffs. But also, you could also argue that they would have been 7-6 had those three games where they were the beneficiaries of a Hail Mary touchdown by Virginia Tech, which depends what side you're on that, where the refs ruled it a touchdown, then overturned it without any. I didn't think it was conclusive at that point. I think if you rule it a touchdown now, I have my issues with ruling it a touchdown from a start. The Cal game was ridiculous. The Cal game, they're blocking downfield like 10 yards into the end zone on the final play. Like, I actually am more outraged at the Cal game than the Virginia Tech game, because it's such a bad missed call. I know that they're going to actually, I think if you mention the Cal fans, they talk about the targeting first, which, sure. But I have a bigger problem with the illegal blocking downfield, like 12 yards down the field. But then you have the Louisville game with the questionable fumbles. So I'm not making excuses. 10-3 is 10-3, but it could have very, very, very well been 7-6. Your thoughts on the Cristobal era so far?
I mean, yeah, has he improved every year? Yes, but when you take a step back, him and Manny Diaz have basically the same record through 3 years, and they've invested a lot more resources under Cristobal, and they had the number one pick of the draft. I know 10-3 looks good, but when they missed out on a golden opportunity. All they had to do was win at Georgia Tech or at Syracuse. Not both. All they had to do was win one. Then they're playing SMU for the ACC title game with a chance to get to the college football playoff. That should have been a college football playoff team, especially with all the breaks they got with that Virginia Tech, Cal, and Louisville stretch that you already outlined. So, yes, the record looks okay last year, but I would say that it's been an underwhelming 3 years for Cristobal at Miami.
Yeah, I was a skeptic of the hire from the start, but he had 10-win season, year 3. I think it's a big year for him, but there's no way he's on the hot seat. Could you imagine a scenario where they actually fire him this year? Are you there? Did you get me? Uh-oh. Does the chat hear me right now? Anyway, hopefully the chat hears me right now. But yeah, Mario Cristobal, I think is in a make or break year right now. I don't know. I don't think it's in a make or break year. I think if you go 7-6, he's good for another year. But if you go 5-7, then the conversation should be happening. Everyone, anyone in the, I got you back now. How you doing? Did you hear me that whole time? This is turning into a disaster. Perfect. The chat hears me. So I'm just going to continue on. But yes, Mario Cristobal, I think it's you, buddy. It's you. 5-7 and 22, 7-6 and 23, 10-3 and 24. And my apologies if you're listening to this on the audio side of things, because you're probably wondering what the hell's going on. Shout out to Max giving us some money there, $5 to outline the schedule for this fall. This fall, we're going to try to be live every single night that there's action going on. Now, obviously on a Monday, I would say you're going to get us probably 5 to 6 nights a week. I would say Sunday would be the only dark day. You'll hear from us pretty much every other day of the week. So, the offense a year ago. Are you with me? I still got nothing, Mac, by the way. YouTube.com/the college experience. Come watch the debauchery. But look, the offense was fire. Shannon Dawson had this offense as complete fire a year ago. First in the nation in scoring offense, third in the nation in pass offense, 31st in rush offense, charting at the #1 offense in all of college football. Hell, I mean, look, hard to argue with Cristobal being potentially on the hot seat. He's like, I just gave you the #1 offense in America. So the bad news though is Cam Ward was the first pick of the draft. They also lost all of their receivers for the most part. They returned 4 starters and really it's kind of like 3 starters. Fletcher didn't start that many games, but I'm gonna list him as a starter there. Mark Fletcher, the running back. They do return both guards and their right tackle from a season ago. So there is that, the O-line, and that is what Cristobal, say what you want about Cristobal in-game management and stuff, but he does recruit really well on the offensive line. He's a former offensive lineman himself. So I think that is something that is solid. They have, I think, a really good offensive line moving forward. They went out to the portal, of course, brought in Carson Beck. I had a chance to interview Carson Beck the other day, and he seems to be relishing the opportunity. He thinks it was one of the smartest moves he's made in his life, decision-making, to leave Georgia to go to Miami. He said those exact words. And hey, I think if you look at their offensive numbers from a year ago and say, hey, #1 in the nation in passing or #1 in the nation in total offense, why should I not leave Georgia and go to Miami? Shamar Brown comes in, a running back from North Dakota State. The receiver, CJ Daniels. So this is, I think, the X factor here. The receiver's kind of unproven. They lost so much from a year ago at the wide receiver spot. They're bringing in Keelan Marion from BYU. CJ Daniels from LSU, Toney Johnson from Cincinnati. And it's funny, if you go back to Big 12 media days, Scott Satterfield was saying how much the Cincinnati wideouts were so bad last year they couldn't get open. So I find that intriguing. Maybe he's not referring to Johnson, or maybe just the ones he's getting back. But bringing in those wideouts, Alex Bowman also comes in from Tulane. He was a guy that I think a lot of people took note of. Also, Jack Nickel from UAB, Trent Dilfer. The modern game does not impress me. And then offensive lineman James Brockermeyer from TCU. This is a guy that was a starter there. They went out and bought him. He'll be an impact starter right away. I believe he's related to the other Brockermeyer back in the 90s that played at Texas. So yeah, I mean, you got that going on. The Emory Williams is still the backup. Chat's asking who is the backup at the quarterback spot with Miami. Then you look at the defensive side of the ball, and well, first Carson Beck. There's some numbers for you: 58 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Georgia's offense too, like passing wise, I feel like ever since Monken left for the Ravens, it's kind of been all over the place. So pretty good, pretty solid numbers though. Then Mark Fletcher, 1,100 yards in his career, over 1,100 yards in his career, 14 touchdowns. And then you have the likes of the defensive side of the ball, as I was alluding to. Corey Heatherman was not the defensive coordinator a year ago. He is the new defensive coordinator. And Corey Heatherman comes over from Minnesota via James Madison before that, done a really good job at both spots. And I know they're super excited about this. They were talking about him a lot on media days. Is Moneyline Mac back in the place to be? Me? I got you, man.
Close that every single tab, so we'll see how this goes. Yes, the offense, they're going to miss Cam Ward. Quick summary there.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, look, I was going to ask you this, but I didn't want to ask myself this. Where do you think? How big of you don't have the offense #1 in the nation, I would imagine. So how far of the drop, or will it be?
That's a great question. I guess that's the question of this whole offseason is what can Carson Beck be coming off of that injury? Obviously they have weapons. The offensive line is going to be really good once again, but they will take a step back. I mean, you lose a #1 pick in the draft, you lose a Heisman Trophy candidate. I think that they'll still be a top 25 offense easily, though. They have enough pieces, enough athletes.
I will say this. I think this year's schedule is
Agreed.
a lot harder. So there is that. But yeah, probably still. I don't know. The receivers are so unproven. I could see a scenario where they drop back, but the O-line is intact. The O-line is in decent shape, I think. But I could see a scenario where they're not top 25 and they're like maybe 35, 45 range. It'll be fun to watch. Now, like I said, the defensive side of the ball, I remember they lose Damien Martinez as well at the running back spot, as well as those wideouts I alluded to. The defensive side of the ball, as I was saying, Corey Heatherman comes in from Minnesota / James Madison. He's been very good there at both those spots. And he inherits a defense that was 70th in scoring defense, 57th in pass defense, 19th in rush defense, charting at the 27th best defense in the country. The problem is you do not have a lot of production back. Ruben Bain, defensive end, Mesidor, defensive tackle. How do I say this? Bisanth, maybe from the linebacker spot, and then OJ Frederic, at the cornerback spot. All back now. They hit the portal like they do every year. They brought in David Blay, this guy was a baller at La Tech last year. Yet another reason why that La Tech under is going to smash. Kamal Bonner from the Pussy Pack of NC State, Mohamed Torre from Rutgers. This is a guy that was a beast 2 years ago. He was out for the season last year at Rutgers. Xavier Locus, obviously, I think that's the big one, because that's the one where the current court case is going on, where Wisconsin is suing the University of Miami for tampering. Yeah, he signed that contract. I don't know how the hell Wisconsin thinks they're going to win that, but he comes into Miami. Ethan O'Connor from Washington State, Charles Brantley from Michigan State, Keontae Scott from Houston. Scott played well for them a season ago. Jacoby Thomas from Tennessee, Zachariah Poyser from Jacksonville State with Rich Rod. All those guys in the secondary, for the most part, there are 5 guys in the secondary coming in. So trying to fix that up. And then Bert Auburn, a kicker from Texas. You might remember him missing many kicks against Arizona State down the stretch. But hey, sometimes that's like the best thing that can happen for a kicker. Like early in their career to suck, and then someone be patient with you. Well, obviously Texas wasn't patient with you, but you found another gig. And sometimes that can be the best thing that happened for you, because you go through that failure, and it's better than just being on easy street the entire time. So maybe Bert Auburn works out. Mac, the secondary, will the defense be a top 30 defense in America?
I don't know if they'll be top 30. I think right around that range, 25 to 35. But I like Heatherman. I mean, he comes from Minnesota, PJ Fleck guy as well. JMU, he had good defenses with Signetti. And I like the way that they bolstered up that secondary, bringing in multiple pieces of guys that played impact football at different winning programs. So yeah, this defense has to take a step forward, because ultimately that's what cost them a spot in the ACC Championship and ultimately a college football playoff last year.
Yeah, I think their numbers. I mean, I think the pass defense will probably be better than 57th. But I also think the schedule's harder. So I actually think their numbers might actually fall back a little bit, because the schedule you're playing, to me, a much more challenging schedule than a year ago. We shall see. But look, folks, I want to tell you that you're listening to the College Football Experience, Miami Hurricane style. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Look, Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32-team NFL preview series. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out a word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win $1,000 Circa future, folks. We're also, speaking of Circa, we're brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor, the world's greatest sports book. Circa Las Vegas is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest. Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, Circa Grandissimo, all with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DJ if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. And by the way, come hang out with the SGPN crew. All the Sports Gambling Podcast guys will be out there Circa contest weekend, August 21st to August 23rd. Also, myself, Moneyline Mac, College Football Week 0. We will be live from Las Vegas, Nevada for an amazing weekend, including live shows. There'll also be some open bar deals for the DJs out there. Plus, you can get 15% off your stay at the Circa with our promo code SGP15. The contests are open for everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use that promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. Giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball's the best way to play fantasy football, folks. Also, Underdog's a great place to play Pick'em. If you haven't checked it out, I mean, you can win up to 500 times your entry. So what are you doing? Jump over to Underdog, sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick, plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, the chat is going. Yeah, look, people are already talking week 0 action. Let's go. Look, this one is tricky for me. State of the program. State of the program. We talk about your coaches, your assistants, your head coaches, your roster, your history, your fan buy-in. And we also talk about your stadium. And good Lord, man, let me tell you, I don't know that there's ever been a worse
downgrade
transition. Yeah, I mean, I like this one is so damn disgusting. Hard Rock Stadium, 38 years young. My official ranking is 3 of 10. And really, let me finish this beer because my heart tells me 1 of 10 when you know what they got rid of. And I'm going to start there, Mac. The Orange Bowl was right there next to the university, not far. The Orange Bowl, in my opinion, you can make the argument it's the greatest football stadium that has ever existed. And some fucking idiots decided, hey, let's not renovate that thing. Let's destroy it and turn it into a baseball park. I mean, one of the most foulest things to ever happen in the history of college football. Look at this fucking stadium that they just said, hey, let's get rid of this thing. It's hosted Super Bowls, obviously the Orange Bowl. And, I mean, you can't tell the story of football. Broadway Joe, biggest dog ever as in the Super Bowl to win. That happened right there on that field. Doug Flutie's Hail Mary to Phelan. I mean, you can go on and on. And these idiots, look at Edgerrin James running for like 10,000 yards against UCLA in 98. I love this stadium, and I still can't believe this. And like Pitt, this is worse though to me. Like Pitt was a colossal fuck up. Pitt Stadium, old Pitt Stadium is like one of the greatest stadiums too. But this one I actually think is like, you put it right there with the Rose Bowl. It's like, who did this? How did this? What's going on here? And then look, just to show you what they built instead, folks. They put this baseball stadium. This is a shot from earlier in the year. This is in the middle of the game, Mac. This is not the warm up. This is in the middle of the fucking game. You got rid of the Orange Bowl for this. First off, I don't know about you guys. Baseball, in my opinion, should always be outdoors. But look at that pathetic crowd. There's more people. There's more people at the Hooters in Miami right now. Yeah, there's more people in our chat than there are at this baseball stadium, which is it's one of the most disgusting fuck ups in all time. Like someone should be fired. If anything, I think I mentioned this a year ago. And like someone DM me saying, actually he got promoted. He's now like the mayor or something now he's working for I'm like, oh, perfect. That's how dull our fucking world is. And maybe he was working for the president. I don't remember. Someone messaged me saying no. Ever since then, his career is skyrocketing. And I'm like, oh, perfect. What a soulless fucking planet we live on. So this is their new stadium. Not this one. This is the baseball stadium, but their new stadium is the Dolphin Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium, and it's disgusting too. Look at it. What are you gonna? This is a fucking helicopter landing. What is this shit right now? I mean, come on. This stadium sucks too. I hate this stadium with the passion. It's like half dome. It's better than being a dome, but just the fact that they thought, hey, you know what? Let's do it halfway. I hate everything about them and these decision makers here. And it's like an hour away from campus, Mac. This is one of the games where they actually showed up. Right? The Miami fans made it. I think they were playing I can't remember if they're playing Notre Dame here or not. I looked it up earlier, but when it's like 1 or 2 games a year, they'll actually shell out. But even with that, first off, you got the blue backdrop too of the Dolphins, fucking whack. You know what I mean? Just like I can't believe this is Miami football now. If you watch Miami in the 80s or 90s like myself, the Orange Bowl was rocking. And this, most of the time, I have a photo from a game in the third quarter, Mac. Where is it? This is look, first you got this going on here. A lot of people there. They've turned into UCLA essentially. This is in the third quarter, mid third quarter of a football game. Fantastic stuff. Bravo to those decision makers that got rid of the Orange Bowl. I actually think it's a huge problem on why they haven't been successful. They've been in the ACC, what? I don't know, 20 years, I feel like. They haven't won an ACC. They're one of the only teams that haven't won an ACC championship, or at least, did they get there? They might have got there once, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you giving this stadium, by the way?
2, 3. I mean, I don't know, 2.5. It's not a college football stadium, so it's like I feel like I'm rating Lincoln Financial Field with Temple that we previewed the other night.
I actually think the link is better in a way. You know what I mean? Because at least it's closer to campus.
It sucks.
Like proximity to campus does matter in a sport that to me is driven by fandom.
Yeah.
With passionate fan bases, and I don't know. I think it's part of the reasons why they've struggled is like there's zero home edge. So, there was a Louisville game a couple years ago, 2 years ago.
The final game.
Because last year was at Louisville. Dude, there was more Louisville fans there, and that's Louisville. So imagine when you play some other teams. Yeah, what a terrible thing. State of the program though, I'll give it a 7 because John Ruiz is a fucking billionaire. But I do have my concerns for their program, with their head coach and also with that stadium. Unless they fix something, at Miami, I don't know that you could ever get lower than like a 6.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's just so much talent there. So much rich history. But I'm going to give it a 7.
To your point, they've been to 2 ACC title games since joining the ACC. They've never won it. And the ACC hasn't been a juggernaut either. I mean, that's crazy to think that Miami hasn't won an ACC title.
Wake has been to 2, dude. Wake Forest has been to 2.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Like Miami.
Yeah.
I'll go 7. I'm with you. They got money, they got resources, but they got to win these big games now.
Yeah, I mean it's just disgusting that they got rid of the. Sometimes I'm a bit of a maniac. I understand that, but I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and I said they destroyed the fucking Orange Bowl. It's like a bad nightmare. I'm like, who is in charge? That's like, honestly, that's like taking that's just like practicing, shooting missiles at like Yellowstone Park. You know what I mean? Like they'd be like, that's the same comparison to me. Is like, yeah, let's just blow up Yellowstone Park. It's like you got a fucking gem of a stadium, and then hey, These Miami fans, the city of Miami has historically fickle fans. I mean, if you've been to a fucking Miami Heat game, but I actually feel like the Hurricanes had the most passionate within the city in the 80s and 90s, maybe even 70s, up to the 2000s. And they said, you know what? Let's make it extremely hard for them to be fans. Let's put the game an hour away from them. I mean, I can't even blame. It's like the UCLA thing. Like, I can't even blame them that much. You know what I mean? Like, I can't blame the fan base that much. Like, I love the Rose Bowl. I love UCLA playing there. But if you're a college kid, you've been doing Jaeger, but you're pregame and getting amped up, watching college football games, doing Jaeger bombs, and you're like, maybe we don't go to the game. It's an hour-long drive, right? I could see it. I could see it happening. But anyway, Miami, I give it a 7 of 10, and I think they have their issues despite that their big pocketbooks moving forward. Before we jump to the schedule, I want to jump to the schedule, but I want to let the good folks know that the college football experience, it's all about the U style, is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all the summer sports, CFL, MLB. Check out the CFL gambling podcast, might I add. WNBA, golf, tennis, racing, and of course, college football and NFL futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to MyBookie.ag with the promo code TCE SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. Once again, that's mybookie.ag, promo code TCE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, you probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a new game-changing feature called Powered Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Look, Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. Look, MLB Power Trends are 254 and 147, with a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their last 400 bets. So download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know damn well we will be as well. So get your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. Shout out to the chat. They'd rather go to Pitbull Stadium. I would too, man. You could offer me free tickets. I would much rather go to Pitbull Stadium. Yeah. I mean, there's more Miami fans on Twitter than at their games. Honestly, like Rocco is right. You could look at Notre Dame Stadium, or he's saying the last time Notre Dame came to that stadium, Notre Dame does pack that thing out. And that's the first game on the schedule. Catholics versus Convicts is back. Baby. Unfortunately, not at the Orange Bowl, but still glad to get this game back on the schedule. I believe, I'm curious if you've changed horses midstream there, because I know we talked about this on the Notre Dame preview about 5 weeks ago. I'm taking Notre Dame. I know CJ Carr is a redshirt freshman quarterback, and there hasn't been many redshirt freshman quarterbacks to really hit the ground running. But he is the grandson of Lloyd Carr, and I think Notre Dame's defense is going to be able to cause a lot of problems for Miami. And I also think this crowd will be 50-50. So I am taking the Irish. I don't feel amazing about it, but I feel 60-40 about it. What are you doing?
I'm sticking with the U. I'm going to take Beck and his experience over Carr. I know that Notre Dame will travel, but I think Miami will actually have a pretty strong showing, because Miami fans get up for Florida State and then in teams like Notre Dame. So I think the Miami defense, the new revamped defense, makes enough plays here. Notre Dame banged up on the offensive line. Give me the U.
Wow. Big game. Cristobal takes down Freeman.
Oh, God. Cristobal in a fucking standalone Sunday night game. I'm going to be so pissed on that night.
Week 2, Bethune-Cookman. We know in basketball they went out and got our boy Dr. Bradley, but unfortunately I don't think he plays football. Bethune-Cookman taking on Miami. I will lay the 49.5 that the Canes are laying. So 1-1. What are you doing here?
Sorry, the U by a million here. Sorry, Bethune. We love you.
Then after that, so you got him 2-0. I got him 1-1. Then South Florida comes to town. The Bulls with Alex going to go to the Go Lash running that. Look, they could be a sneaky team in the AAC. Byron Brown was injured a lot of last year. However, I will take Miami to get it done. I'm curious what the crowd will be here, but either way, give me the Canes. I think their line of scrimmage will just annihilate South Florida.
Yeah, they annihilated them last year. I think 50-10 or 50-15. I think it's a tough matchup for USF, just in the trenches. To your point, so yeah, give me Miami 3-0.
3-0. This guy, whoa! Give him the natty now,
we'll
right?
See.
And by the way, shop around on the Notre Dame line. You can find -2.5 on DK right now. If you're on the Irish, if you're on the Canes, look for that 3 out there. Then week 4, the Florida Gators come to town. So here's my logic, Mac. You got all 4 non-con games in a row.
That's fantastic.
If they beat, crazy. But if they beat Notre Dame, I think they're going to lose to one of the two. I don't have them beating Notre Dame and Florida. So if they do beat Notre Dame week 1, I say Florida gets them week 4. Revenge game from a year ago. But since I took Notre Dame week 1, I'm going to say they complete the sweep with these Gators. Curious what the fan turnout will be here as well. Is this one they show up for? But I got them 3-1 in the non-con. How about you?
I got the Gators. If you remember, Lagway didn't play that game. That was Mertz who started that game week 1 last year, and Miami talked a lot of shit after that game. I think Florida remembers that. They got embarrassed in the swamp here. I think they go to Hard Rock and they get a split here on the road. But road teams win both these games, and there will be a lot of Gator fans. So yeah, 3-1 for me.
Yeah, they did wax Florida a year ago. So we're both 3-1. Yeah, we're both 3-1 of the non-con. Excited to watch. Obviously, bravo on the non-con.
That's a great schedule.
Well, thank you for giving us Catholics versus Convicts. Thanks for giving us the Gators. In my and even South Florida and Bethune, I think I like it all. Regionality, and then you have the old rivalry with Notre Dame and Miami, 2 private schools going at it.
Would you say that? I mean, that's close to the best non-con schedule out there.
I really enjoy it. I'll say that.
From a unique standpoint, with the tradition and rivalries.
I know we're going to talk South Carolina either tonight or tomorrow. We're going to figure that out. It might be pushed to tomorrow, but I was impressed with what they did as well, in the non-con as well. So, but yes, this is a lot of fun, I think, for fans to maybe consider driving that hour. Do the Jaeger bombs on the way.
Always.
Just hire an Uber, or I don't know, or take your chances, right? I mean, but I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying.
Tell Mike Gundy sent you.
I'm just saying, an hour long in a car. You don't do the Jaeger bombs pre getting in the car. All right.
Wait till you're on the interstate.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when you're on the interstate, you can if you have a driver. This is probably illegal, but I don't know. It's Florida.
I love Florida.
Florida. This is probably legal in Florida. You're good. Just don't have the driver do shots. If you do, you might be able to pick up some IVs though and shoot it right into his veins. All right. 3-1 in the non-con. Then we got a bye week. Look at my boy Howard Schnellenberger here. Not enough coaches wear the shirt and tie anymore. With the suit, you know what I mean? Cristobal started his career wearing the tie, the suit and tie. He ditched it. Went out to Oregon. Started, God knows what he was doing. in Eugene, right? Definitely shroomed, probably opened up his mind a little bit and said, you know what? I'm done with this shirt and tie and slacks. All right. You come out of the bye week and you head to Saudi Arabia State in Tallahassee, Florida to take on the Seminoles there. I mean, who the hell knows what Florida State's going to look like this year? I can tell you this, though. What's that?
I said the comments on the Florida State episode are hilarious. It's either 12-0 or 2-10. like their own fan base. It's hilarious.
I talked to a Saudi Arabia State beat writer at ACC Media Days, right? And I said, dude, what do you think? And he even said, I have no fucking idea, man. He's like, I don't know. I don't like this much of a transfer portal team and then quickly bringing in 2 coordinators. But he was like, there is some talent on the roster. I think we're more talented than a year ago. But then again, he goes, I thought we were talented last year. Give me a win for Saudi Arabia State here.
I went to U. They're off the bye week, and I had them losing that the Florida game. I'll get them bouncing back in Tallahassee. 4-1.
You're probably right, actually. Line of scrimmage. Okay, I'll give the U a win. I apologize
they have more
if you're listening to this,
talent.
Miami. I just think the line of scrimmage too, like that Gus Miles on offense. You goddamn
cha.
Yeah, I mean they have the the jet sweeps happening every other play. I guess I'll go Canes. I have no idea. Will there be a fan reading a book mid-game with Saudi Arabia down double digits, perhaps? So 4-1. 4-1. Then they get another bye week. They basically have that. Look, Jimmy Johnson. Remember that run they had? Snellenberger, Johnson, Dennis Erickson, pretty fire.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know if do you like that bye week? That's kind of like a Conference USA MAC bye week where it's like you're there for one game or you get a bye week, one game, then bye week again. I don't know that I like that either.
Yeah, I'd rather have it at middle of November or early November.
Yeah. They come out of the bye week and the Louisville Cardinals are waiting for them. I got a picture of Schnellenberger down there with his pipe because this is the Schnellenberger Bowl. Somebody make it a bobblehead night with the Schnellenberger, bobblehead night, and make sure you dial 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE and I'll give you my address. But it was a loss to me. To me, Braum should have beat them last year. He beat them the last time in Miami. Mm-hmm. If I'm not giving them Florida State and Louisville.
Yeah.
Look, how many times has Cristobal lost a bit, a home game to a team that he shouldn't?
And this is a Friday night spotlight game, high pressure game. Both coaches off the bye. I like Braum off the bye. Yeah, give me Louisville here. I'm high on the Cards. We haven't done them yet. So, Miami 5-2 for me. Or
I'm with you. 5-2 as well, right?
4-2.
5-2, right? 4-2. Okay. Yeah. Florida State, Bethune, South Florida for me. So you're right. 4-2. Then they come out of that and Stanford, Frank Wright coming to town.
This game is awful.
In the first ever matchup. This is the game they replaced. This is a hilarious game because when Notre Dame and Miami stopped happening, Notre Dame's like, damn it, we need a rival. They replaced it with Stanford. So we're getting the B list. This is like this is like when you're catching a classic action movie, but they didn't have the money to pay the actor anymore. You know what I mean? Like where they're replacing him, like Major League when they didn't have enough money for Snipes for number 2, so they replaced him with Omar Epps. I feel like this is what Notre Dame did with Stanford. They're like, okay, we're gonna look at this new rivalry we have. This is a terrible game.
It's a horrible game.
I'll take Miami to destroy them on the line of scrimmage. What are you doing here?
God, yeah, Stanford doesn't have a fucking shot. They got to come east, and they don't have the athletes. This is going to be a rout.
Yeah. Then no one will be at that game. Then they head to Gerald Ford Stadium, take on the SMU Mustangs. Rhett Lashley used to be at Miami. This is what? I feel like this is early November too. SMU does lead the all-time series. I will take SMU to get the win here. Jennings is flying under the radar. I know he played bad in the Penn State game, but I still think that dude is not a bad option for a Heisman candidate to me, because I thought he really turned a corner in the regular season last year before that Penn State game. Give me SMU to get this thing done. What are you doing here?
I'm with you, and that place is gonna burn when they get Miami to come to them.
Oh yeah, that place will be rocking.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Florida State went there last year. That Florida State I know Florida State sucked, but I mean that place was on fire. And TCU, I mean, they had some electric home games. Miami coming in there for the first time, that place is going to be on fire. Yeah, give me SMU.
Yeah, so that puts us at 5-3. What if I told you I think we just cashed the under? But
yeah, we got to the end.
Yeah. Well, Syracuse is next. The revenge game. Remember, Syracuse came back from down 21-0 and beat Miami a season ago. I did run into Fran Brown, who was eating a cold Pop-Tart. Shout out to Fran Brown, by the way. I forgot to tell people, White Tiger committed to Fran Brown. I was talking to Fran Brown. This was not, I don't have any record of this. This was one where I did not realize. So the Pop-Tart Bowl is sponsored by the ACC, and they were giving out a bunch of gifts. So I went over there to see what they were giving out. Never been one to turn down free food. And they gave me a box of Pop-Tarts, and I turned around, and in the line with me is Fran Brown, and we start talking as he's eating a cold Pop-Tart, because he had popped open those things and was just going to town on these Pop-Tarts. Then we admired these kids playing the college football video game. They have like a station where you could play. But we talked and for about 5-10 minutes, and White Tiger committed to Syracuse. So just so people know, we didn't have a follow-up.
You need the NIL
verbal. Well, I need to talk. I need to confirm that the dome's going to be gone in 18 years. But anyway, Syracuse. This is a sneaky game, man, because look, everybody thinks Fran Brown and Syracuse suck this season because everyone, Honda McCord is gone, Gadsden gone. They bring in Angeli, the Notre Dame kid. Like, I still think they're going to be all right. And this is just the type of game where I think they could actually stay in this thing. But I'll take Miami, but especially if they lose the SMU game. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll take them in the revenge game. I mean, this is the game that ended their season. But at this point, when you have 3 losses and all those NIL, do they quit on the year? That's when this gets a little tricky with the U.
Yes, and then the Pussy Pack come to Miami, which is a sneaky game because, look, I'll never take the Pussy Pack, but I'll say this. They normally have guys on the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Under Doran, they have guys on the line of scrimmage. So, like, it makes it, to me, a worthy game against their O-line and D-line that could be tricky. I will take Miami because the Pussy Pack is the Pussy Pack. But it is a game that I could see. Honestly, I can see Syracuse or NC State beating Miami at Miami with a half-empty crowd. How about you?
Yeah, and I mean, this is another one. It's if Miami goes through the motions like they did a couple times last year, this is a losable game. But I'll take them at home. What do we got? 7-3 right now.
7-3, and then they head to Blacksburg, Virginia on November 22nd. It's cold if you haven't been. The sneaky cold. Blacksburg, Virginia is in November. I have no idea if Brent Pryor will be coaching this game. But I'll take Virginia Tech. Give me a 4th loss. Look, this Virginia Tech should have beat them last year in Miami. I will take the Hokies to get revenge on that. Kyron Drones is still there. Philip Montgomery is an offensive coordinator that I like. I think that hire can work out. Give me the Hokies. Enter Sandman.
I saw Prime was high on his team at media day. I think they're going to lose one of these last 2 road games, at least. Both of them are really cold, both not too far from one another. Give me the loss in Blacksburg. I'm with you. I think Virginia Tech is going to be a little bit better than what people are projecting. So I'll take the Hokies in Blacksburg in the old Big East rivalry game.
Yeah, shout out to Martin. You guys have not researched Miami enough. 3 losses so far. Yeah, they're not that good. They're very close to having 6. And guess what? I have a 5th loss right here because they're going to Pitt. I am very high on Pitt this year, Matt. Cover your ears. I think Narduzzi and Pitt have a very dangerous team this year. I think they have maybe the best linebacking core in America. I think they have second year of Cade Bell's offense. Brought in a couple other Western Carolina guys, including Cole Gonzalez. You saw what Desmond Reed did. He was a Western Carolina guy, ACC newcomer of the year. Look, Miami's going to be, like you said, you want to fade these teams that are, to me, it's going to be cold as shit, November 29th in Pittsburgh. Then you talk about the buy-in on a team that is already not in the playoffs. So I will. I actually feel better about this than the Virginia Tech game. The Virginia Tech game, to me, I think there's a decent shot prize not coaching this. I think Narduzzi will probably be here because I'm high on Pitt's team. So I like Pitt's chances against Miami here. It seems like though you're using the pussy pack logic, but what are you doing here?
That's why I picked Virginia Tech, so I didn't have to pick Pitt. If they beat Tech, I'll pick Pitt the final game of the season. But yeah, I mean, this is a tough schedule if you're a Miami fan, man. I mean, the road spots, especially with the way that they fall, this is a tough one. This is a lock on the under.
Oh, I've already been on TV. I mean, I'll be on TV again in about 45 minutes. This is a lock of mine here. All over the under. Yeah. I feel very good about the under here. It's a much harder schedule than last year. And look, last year's schedule, they were very close. 3 calls went in their favor in critical games where they could have easily been a 6-loss team. And I think this year's schedule, take a look at this spot, Mac. I actually think there's a shot they lose every road game. If they don't get the Florida State game, at SMU, at Virginia Tech, at Pitt, the fact they get Blacksburg and Pitt, these cold ass places, even and SMU I think is a tough road game. And we were giving them, like I gave them Florida State, I gave them Florida, and I don't even feel confident about that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
NC State's a team. Yeah, dude, there's like. What is the ceiling here for you? What is the best case scenario? Because I don't think they can beat all these teams. Like I don't think 11-1 is the best case scenario. I just don't think so.
I think 10-2 is the ceiling.
I think it's like 9-3. That's why I feel like there's just too many tough opponents on the schedule. What Bethune-Cookman and Stanford? Besides that, and South Florida, besides those 3, I think every game is losable. I mean, this is Mario Cristobal here. At home, would it shock you if they lost to NC State or Syracuse? Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Even if they ran the table at home, they would have to split those road games at Florida State, at SMU, at Virginia Tech, and at Pitt for the 10-2. That's where I guess that's my ceiling. But they're downgrading at the quarterback position. They lost the number 1 pick in the draft. I know that they defensively should take
their wideouts. Their wideouts are not nearly as good as they were a year ago.
Agreed.
Now the defense probably will take a step. I think the defense will be better, but the schedule is so much harder this year. Florida is in better shape this year. Notre Dame, okay, without the quarterback, but the rest of the team for Notre Dame, I think, is in better shape than a year ago. Besides the quarterback spot.
And Beck's off an injury. That's another dynamic. Beck's off that arm injury in the SEC championship game.
Yeah. Shout out SGB and Doc. Florida might have the best O-line in the country. Notre Dame might have the best O-line in the country. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's. He's saying the Florida Gators. Yeah, Florida Gators have a great offensive line. There's a lot of teams that, and to me, don't sleep on Louisville. Don't sleep on Pitt. I think those 2 teams are better. Mac, I'm sorry, buddy. I think Pitt's team is very talented this year and could be a problem. I think the schedule has its challenges, man. Really, let's play the other way. This could be they could go 6-6. They could do it, dude.
Oh yeah.
Imagine Carson Beck's a guy that's dealt with injuries throughout his career. Imagine if, maybe he's not playing 100%. Maybe he didn't return, at 100%. They lose to Notre Dame. They lose to Florida. Then you're 2-2 and you got to go to Tallahassee. There's blood in the water and Florida State might be playing better than we think. You could easily be 2-3. How much is your buy-in at that point on a team with a ton of transfers, right? Then you take on Braum, who's got a week. He's got a bye week before. You could easily be 2-4. They'll get Stanford, but you could paint yourself a scenario where this is a 6-6 team.
Yeah.
Now I got them 7-5 or 8-4, but I feel very good about the under here. I've already bet this. I was just in Vegas, so let's go.
Yeah, I made him 4, locking the under with you.
I mean, let me ask you this. Is it possible to paint a scenario of 5-7, or is that just insane talk?
I mean, they would have to, they would have to.
I just feel like
they are talented still.
Florida State was 2-10 though. I'm just saying the quit is possible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, they're favored in every game except Notre Dame. They're favored at SMU.
Is that line even out?
I would not favor them at SMU.
I
would favor them. Yeah. Look, they're going to be favored against Pitt and Virginia Tech, but hey, folks, in case you're wondering, I did take Georgia Tech and Syracuse money line last year.
That's the other thing. Like we've seen Cristobal puke all over himself late in the year. Why would we be surprised if he does it again?
Yeah. I feel pretty good about this. This is a hard schedule. I think South Florida could be a player in the AAC too. Not to say that game will be a close game or something, but you just never know. If Beck is not as healthy as we think, or if Notre Dame's defense is an issue for him. Yeah. I don't know why Miami would be favored at SMU.
Yeah,
so someone explain to me why that would be.
And how many games has Cristobal lost as a favorite? Does it really matter if they're favored in every game? I mean, he lost to Georgia Tech at home 2 years ago. It's like a 3-touchdown favorite. He lost at Georgia Tech last year as a double-digit favorite. He lost at Syracuse as a double-digit. That's what he does.
Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. That's why we just breeze over those Syracuse, NC State, Florida State games as wins. I don't know about that. Even Florida, you're sitting there man, okay. Cam Ward played his ass off last year, especially in that Florida game. But there's a shot that, NC State is a team that is more talented than their record every year. They're capable of beating you. Now the Hokies, the one that I really feel like I'm giving is the Virginia Tech one. I actually believe Pitt is going to win that fucking game. I will bet that right now if that line's out. I didn't see it, but Virginia Tech is the only one where Brent Pry's team, but they should have won at Miami last year.
They got cheated by the refs.
Yeah. That's a rivalry game too, and you're coming in the lane on November 23rd or whatever it is, 22nd. It's gonna be cold, man. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel pretty good about this. Obviously, I've already bet this, but I was actually thinking about you can actually you want to get a little crazy. Unders. They have they have the exact win thing on DK, I believe. I'm pulling it up right now. I know we got to get out of here, but and by the way, the South Carolina preview will be pushed to tomorrow. So our apologies there, but our connection is not the best with the internet. But where am I at here? I'm looking for Miami right now because I think we might be able to get rich, really rich here. Where is this?
6-6.
Let me see if I can.
What's this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What is the odds on that, dude?
6 wins.
Give me the odds on that. Miami exactly 7 wins is plus 650. Oh man, 6 is plus 1,200, dude. Are you kidding me?
Man.
I might just, dude. The 7 win one is appealing, man. Let's go. All right, we're both on the under. Bring back the Orange Bowl, you filthy animals. All right. Enjoy. I do have a nice slideshow honoring the history of Miami football, which I watched a shit ton of it since my brother was such a big Miami fan in the 80s and 90s. I probably didn't miss a game for a long time, but yeah. Enjoy that slideshow. Bring back the Orange Bowl. Anthony in the chat saying that we have not done Louisville yet. I believe that's in the next couple of days though. So we will have that banged out. Next up is South Carolina. I believe after South Carolina, let me go to my notes. After South Carolina is Oklahoma. So South Carolina and Oklahoma, 2 SEC schools next. Folks, we're breaking out all 136. Enjoy the slideshow. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Can't wait to watch this season. What a great schedule. What a tough schedule. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages.
1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks. Logic is leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallengeable and stiff. So arrange the pieces to appear cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pitch right now. It's like
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles tape. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause the season goal moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly.